Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Edwin's back again. Welcome back to Cross Examinations Live. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller, and with me today, Edwin Boyette.
Hello.
Hello. Where'd you go? You disappeared for a minute there.
I couldn't hear you, and Chrome decided to write like the Encyclopedia Britannica to my hard drive. So I dumped Chrome and came back with, what am I in? Internet Explorer, or Edge, I think the kids call it now.
Microsoft. Wow, I haven't used that in a coon's age.
Right?
A coon's age.
Amy Lester says, Edwin has a new hat. Yes, this is my final form, the Victorian gentleman.
Here. As always, I'm not sure which side is the front on this thing.
All right, we can be brothers of the top hat.
It's top hat day today on Cross Examinations, everyone. I hope you brought yours. We'll need evidence in the Discord. Hello, hi, hello. Hey, look, it's story time with friends, Edwin.
Hey, I'm here somewhere.
Hello, Melissa and Amy and John and Arlene and DJ. I miss anybody yet? No, that's it so far. Tina's here. John has to one up. It's actually, other than my camo Trump hat, it's the only hat I have within reach. So I'm not a hat guy.
I just assumed you had a squid grow hat within arm's length at all times.
I don't have a squid grow hat, actually. I don't know if we've made a squid grow hat. I feel like this is the wrong side. Is it supposed to go this way? Because this has the design on it. I think this is the way it's supposed to go. Handmade, in case you can't tell. Not by me. So, how was your day after Christmas?
It was good. Just did some writing.
After Christmas, and Edwin gave to me.
I've been using Grok to make a comic book. That's fun. Not a real comic book, but a mockery of parody, if you will. But Grok is all kinds of fun.
Mock book. See what I did there?
Amy Lester says, edgy. Yes, we don't want to cut ourselves on all these sharp edges.
Yeah, I had a call with Elliot because I think I discussed yesterday on my show. I came up with an idea while I had a headache for a new intellectual property called Jesus Freaks.
Jesus Freaks with a Z?
No, with two E's though.
Oh, okay.
Because that's been my eBay handle since like 1998. Is Jesus Freak 101 with two E's.
Nice. Oh, freak out!
But it's a
freak out.
It's about a group, a worship band who gets superpowers. And then I was trying to come up with like sort of dad joke names for the character because I want it to be really like cartoonish, not like Mike Miller draws Lone Star, right? Like sort of Teen Titans go level meets Gorillas because it's a worship band. So I want it. It's like someday I'd like to do it as an animation where they actually sing original worship songs as part of the show, right? This is all dreamscape stuff for me, but
sure.
This is my long-term goal.
What was that comedy series you did back in the day?
Bless this mess.
No, not Bless This Mess. It almost had like an IT kind of feel to it with nerds and
Oh, Electronic Tigers.
yeah. Would that type of styling work for them?
Yeah, maybe. I'd have to. That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Well,
Something like that, I can draw so quickly. Honestly, if I wrote some good stories, I could probably bang it out. I could probably bang out an entire issue in a week.
I mean that's kind of the point, right? With the cartoons, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, you got to do it quick. But yeah. So one of the characters is Holly Spirit, and then Gardener Eden.
Oh, Gardener Eden.
I came up with another one. Yes, Elliot came up with Jawbone.
Jawbone,
right?
The son of Sam.
What?
And I'm so wild.
No, like Samson. Oh, and then I came up with Nate Gravity, like nativity.
Chuck Keyworth says either your link on X is bad or YouTube is brain farting hard.
Really?
Chuck, is that the one that I put up or the one that Mike put up?
Yeah, let me know because I put it up directly from YouTube.
I wonder if I'm
ring, now you're listening.
I
looked up the 12 days of Christmas the other day because I'm like, wait a second. There's only one day of Christmas. And I see here. Edwin's putting up some very interesting stuff on X if anyone wants to go check it out.
I'm just having fun exploring the limits of AI image generation.
Too much fun. All right, yes. No, the link, my link works. I don't know what you're on about.
Well, let me check my link.
You know what cool substitute for S hasn't been used? CE. Brats becomes brats. Except it looks like an Italian word. It's a bracce. Molto pericoloso de bracce.
Okay, the one I put up works. So
the hot new marketing trend. I'm a genius. Jesus freakche. It really looks Italian. Jesus freaks. Now it's FREEKS. The one Mike put up. I'll see if I can find yours. It could be the app working. Yeah, I just clicked it. It works. Yes, Edwin did discover AI generation. Good times. What are you? And you're using Grok, right?
Yeah, Grok.
Yeah, I switched. I went and I bought a year's worth of the one that Grok used to use, which is Flux, because it does way better oil painting style stuff.
And I have access to Canva. Canva's really good. Canva's really good. But even with Grok, here I'll put this. I'll put the link to it in the private chat. There's nothing here that'll offend anybody. This one isn't.
Hello, Lady Celtic Moon. Welcome everyone. I hope you've all had a wonderful post-Christmas celebration. Yeah, so the 12 days of Christmas is apparently based on a lot of Catholic stuff. So that would explain why we don't celebrate it here in America. But it ends with New Year's. No, not New Year's Eve. Like it ends on like the 3rd of New Year's of January or something like that.
Arlene says, "What is Grok? Grok is the AI inside of Twitter, and it has."
Shouldn't the 8th day of Christmas be Jesus's bris?
No. No.
Celebrating the circumcision of our Lord.
Hang on. I'm booking a flight to San Diego so I can. Booking a flight to San Diego right now so I could punch Miller right in the neck.
My dear
Lord,
no!
No, are one of your
Little ring of discarded flesh.
I'm sending your boy, I'm sending your youngest a set
You
of
know how
nunchucks.
nowadays, like sometimes people, they'll keep the
No, stop.
circumcision
Stop.
and they'll
End
put
it.
it like,
Terminate.
in
This.
the baby
Terminate.
book, right?
Exterminate.
No, they do. They keep it in like the baby book.
Halt.
They
No
draw it
further.
like in black. It looks like a little olive you'd find on your pizza.
We're rapidly approaching a line that we don't want to cross. Mute Mike. Yeah, kick Mike. How do I kick
I'm
Mike
just
from his own
wondering.
server?
I'm
Hang
just
on, let me
wondering
figure this out.
if Jesus left anything on this earth before he resurrected, that would be it. If, like, Mary's like, just gonna keep it in the baby book.
Oh,
And then they hand it down from generation to generation.
my punching hand is so twitchy right now.
What is that? That is the circumcision of the Lord.
No, then
It would probably have some pretty miraculous healing powers.
there are all
They should
sorts
make
of.
all the holy. You know how they make holy water?
How do they make holy water?
They put a relic into
The water,
like a barrel or something of water, or they touch the water with a piece of
the reliquary,
with a piece of dead saint. This is how they make holy water. I kid you not. They they take the foot of Saint Sebastian, they dip it in water. It's like, it's holy. Imagine. Just
stop.
imagine
No, stop right now. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna leave you to this.
Why would someone keep that? Because parents are weird, and we keep all kinds of weird things. It's usually the mother, the dad's usually like, get rid of that thing.
Mike has managed to horrify his entire audience.
I still have
sorry.
all my kids' baby teeth somewhere.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I think my mom has a baby
Jesus,
book.
baby teeth.
I think my mom has a baby book that has like a lock of my hair. And so until I was about 2 years old, I was like corn silk blonde, I think.
But I'm just thinking of all the things that Jesus could have left on the earth. His that thing that you don't want to talk about, and his baby teeth.
Yeah.
His baby teeth. Think about his baby teeth.
That's a bit more of a palatable line of exploration.
But on the 8th day of life, it is a commandment of God.
Sure, but that's life. That's not Christmas.
Right, but we're talking about the 12 days of Christmas, which starts on Christmas and goes through like January 3rd.
All right, so Christmas...
8 days should be...
Sure, but when we celebrate Christmas is...
I'm going to start celebrating 8 days after Christmas.
Is not when Jesus was born, actually. Yeah, we know that pretty well. And what's interesting, the Orthodox haven't even had Christmas yet. They think we're all crazy.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was in the winter. So.
Yeah.
All right. Why am I showing this?
Oh, that was just the what I was doing with Grok. Just the image. There's nothing offensive in the image. And it's kind of interesting. So that's kind of like a depiction of Cecil and Doug TeNapel.
That looks more like a depiction of Cecil and George Alexopoulos.
Oh, it does a little bit, doesn't it? But it still works. It still works. If you know what it was, and know what it's referencing, you'll pick it up. But it's interesting. And the one component of these AI image generators that I actually write is that you actually kind of have to write a coherent story or describe a coherent scene, to get those images.
Or you go to Grok and you say, how would I write an AI prompt for this? And it'll tell you what to write to it so that it can understand the thing that it's telling you.
Now, that is what I did to come up with the character of Fruit Boot Bob, who is a parody of Rainbow the Brute. Fruit Boot Bob.
Fruit Loop Bob. What are you doing here, Edwin? Let's see.
Fruit Boot Bob.
Fruitin and the Bootin. Is this Fruit Boot Bob.
That is Fruit Boot Bob. They are all Fruit Boot Bob. He's
Are they all
in a state of constant flux.
Oh my! The super chat are missing. Frank briefly considering telling Fruit Boot Bob not to smoke crack. I'd like to apologize to everyone here, not for the circumcision stuff, but for
the peril. Well, the crank, don't suffer a witch to live. That's Levitical, I believe.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Look at this witch is floating a tiny little cup.
Yes, she is.
With her magical powers.
Yes.
She's also a special witch, which you have to spell with 2 T's.
Yes. That's the fun thing. That's the fun thing of Grok's image generator is sometimes it will just absolutely mangle text.
Yeah.
But I like these.
Do you still have the prompt for this?
I think so.
Send it to me. I want to do it on the other one.
After the show or now?
No, just right now.
Okay. Hang on a second. Let me get it.
We got some time. We're just here entertaining the folks.
Just kicking it. But sometimes the silly little artifacts are kind of funny.
Arlene says, good night. I thought I was a bit off for keeping my son's hair when they shaved him for surgery, but Mike just trounced that idea. I didn't say we kept our kids' circumcision.
It's actually a long
some
crop.
People do.
I'm gonna put it in Discord. I think will be better.
And you have to think for a second. Mary knew this was God. Wouldn't you keep his foreskin? That's not sacrilegious. It's just an honest question. You knew.
Was that a Jewish tradition? I don't think that was a Jewish tradition.
What, keeping it?
We could look it up in the Talmud, but I don't think it was a tradition. I think the rabbi probably disposed of it.
DJ says no, Mike. No.
So if you look at Discord, I have sent you that prompt.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, the generative AI that you're using, are you hosting a local copy or is it a server?
It's a server.
Is it pretty snappy?
It's a Flux AI. You know, it doesn't take too long. Oh, shoot. I have it on the wrong thing. I use it on Brave.
Duck went. DJ Peterson says, did you DM him? I wanted to try it in Deep AI. All right, I will, DJ Peterson, I will send it to you on Discord. I think you're DJ Peterson. You know what? I'll send it to you on Twitter. Or maybe...
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. Beautiful sight, I'm happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Well, it's certainly comic booky.
Yeah, I sent it to you on Discord, DJ. It's an essay.
Oh, hold on. Where's that share screen? I should see the whole screen. All right. Here's your comic. What is with the Hebrew? Oh, is this Japanese or Hebrew?
Fascinating.
Thurful world with the back with.
It's colorful.
Like you.
It's colorful.
Edwin, how did it know to draw you?
That is hilarious.
How did it know? I'm going to run it again just to see what else we come up with. Fruit Boot Bob, can you feel me? Reek of rainbow.
Reek of rainbow. It does reek of rainbow. Ooh. Ooh.
The peril of the crack witch. The frack witch. What?
So the input parameters may be a little bit. You may have to tune them differently for. But
Yeah.
that's definitely comic book looking.
Yep. Very
It even-
comic booky.
It even has the right dimension.
Rut boot Bob on this one.
Root with the Bob.
Root boot Bob. Hello, we do the root boot Bob today. Please. All right, DJ's doing some stuff here too. All right, I'm gonna run one more time, just one more time, and then we'll get back to circumcision.
So for anybody who's not inside, doesn't have the context for this, there was a YouTuber who offered a parody of Rainbow Bright. Oh, how about that? In this book,
bulb. Don't the turtle futher rat fadofi traingenwich.
it's kind of like Norse or Celtic kinda. It's
Yeah.
kind of neat. Anyway, so a YouTuber offered a graphic novel through crowdfunding, and it was solicited all the way back in January of 2001, with an estimated shipping date of December
Here's DJ.
2001. Oh! Fruit!
Feral, the sparrow of the crack witch.
Bitch.
Here's the other one. Fruit with the F and an R combined into one letter.
Nice.
Bob, the peril of the feral of the crack witch. I like that one.
That one's actually pretty good.
That's not too shabby. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. All deep AI. What is deep AI? That's a new one I haven't heard of.
Deep AI.
There's so many good AI programs now.
Yeah.
Some
Some of these are,
irritated that they swapped Grok because I liked the Flux when they had Flux on there and it was free and I didn't have to pay for it.
though Grok is not good at making like an actual cover. The other AIs seem to immediately kind of like put the right dimensions in. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I like that. The F with the R combined.
Yeah, that is kind of
It's a cool new letter.
and the little pixie there in the corner of the
Neptiel, the peril of the crack witch. What is this supposed to be saying?
The peril of the crack witch.
What about, I mean, what Neptiel is just there?
I don't know what's generating that.
Hmm.
Let me go look at the prompt.
I don't think I want to play one.
Arlene says, I was using Brave, but the iMac and Brave weren't playing nice with each other. Oh, really?
I kind of want to get.
Yeah, no
I
idea
prefer
why.
Brave, but for some reason, Brave no longer wants to access my camera and mic for StreamYard. So I use Chrome for StreamYard now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Brave is designed for privacy and not, so.
Oh, that might explain a thing or two.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's enough of the Neptiel of the Kharkovich.
Only takes like $1, right?
Neptiel sounds like an angel's name, though.
Doesn't it? It's yeah.
It's
It sounds-
Neptiel, the angel of nepotism.
Sounds like a Nephilim. Neptiel.
Yeah.
Venmo?
Neptiel.
Does that-
Neptiel. All right. All right. Let's get to. I knew I had it somewhere else. Why don't I'll just open another window.
You got $1?
I see you've got up your Christmas greenery in the background.
I can't for some reason. It's not showing my background. So you guys get my green screen. At least it's green.
Yeah, it works for the next couple of days.
Works with my ho ho ho. So works with that. My hair is now a mess. Let's see. King James Version online. Whoops, dang it. Click the wrong button there. Click the wrong thing there. We are in Exodus chapter 20 deuce.
Exodium.
The double douche. Present, share screen. And now.
And just is
The
my
Bible
volume is good,
screen.
right? I'm not
Yeah.
yelling at the audience.
Spot on. Green goes with Christmas sweater. Correct. All right.
Exodus chapter 22. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So the was it Matthew, or who was the tax collector that said if I stole anything from anyone, I'll replace it for fold?
Can I put in your ashes?
Do you remember?
Probably
was it-
Matthew. It's well, what jumped out at me was it was 5-fold for the ox, but only 4-fold for the sheep.
Yeah. What's that about?
It's an interesting. There's probably an underlying meaning there, but it does not jump out at me.
Yeah. Anybody know? No? Okay, let's move on.
If a thief shall be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall be no blood. There shall no blood be shed for him.
That means if someone's breaking into your house and you kill them, you're all right.
Yeah, his family can't exact some sort of blood price, nor can a judge.
Well, blood price would be after the fact.
Yeah.
This is like if he be found breaking up, which I would expect means breaking in,
Yes.
and he dies in the process of you protecting your family.
Yep.
No blood shall be shed for him.
There's no revenge for that, no punishment for killing a thief. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft.
Wait.
So if he doesn't die.
If the sun be risen upon him,
Uh-huh.
there shall be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If you have nothing. So if he doesn't die.
If he doesn't die.
And you find him, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it wrong?
If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. All right.
Mind your animals, people.
Yeah. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn of the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution.
No arsonists, please.
No. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. Interesting. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manners of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. There's definitely a proportionality to the penalties, the restitution. If a man delivereth unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or sheep or any beast to keep, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Lord be between them both, that he hath not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. All right.
So you have to swear before the Lord that you didn't eat his meat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. Okay. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. So if you borrow a horse, or if you borrow a tool, you borrow anything, and it's broken or destroyed, then you have to
Give 'em
replace
back
it with
and-
like.
Yeah.
Completely proportional here. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be a hired thing, it came for his hire. Okay. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
No fornication.
Fornication. If her father utterly refuse,
You break it, you bought it.
yeah, no refunds. No refunds. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. Okay. Kind of makes sense, because the father could then take that dowry and hopefully find her a husband. Okay, chapter 18. We were just talking, or verse
Here we
18, we were just
go,
talking
here we
about crack
go.
witches. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Now, the word witch here actually means poisoner in full context.
No witch. All right, let's go to King James. Blue
The
Letter
Blue
Bible.
Letter Bible.
Blue Letter Bible. What verse was that? Exodus 22.
Was that 22:18? Maybe?
22:18. Oh, too far. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. A witch, kasap. Strong's definition. Primitive root, properly, to whisper a spell, i.e., to enchant or practice magic. Sorcerer, use, witch, craft. Strong's use. Elsewhere,
Does it have the Greek?
No, this is the Hebrew.
Yeah.
Do you have the Septuagint on hand?
I do not.
To pray. Oh, genius. Hebrew Chaldean lexicon says unused what was that, Chaldean? FAL?
Yeah.
To pray, to offer prayers or worship. That's weird. Like many Syriac words relating to worship. Read full entry. To use enchantment. An enchanter, a magician. Maleficus. Oh, that's a cool name. That's a cool word. Maleficus. Maleficus.
Oh, could be.
Artibus.
Yeah.
In Surveyor.
That's Latin Vulgate. That's Latin. When it says the VULG.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean vulgar. It means Vulgate. Latin.
Latin vulgar. Well, here's the Greek word, but I can't read Greek. It's all Greek to me. So
What's the Greek word?
I don't know. Papakaus, Papvokaus, something like that.
It's so small I can't even.
Yeah,
squint
it's
at it.
very difficult to. It's hard to read when it's not small. So yeah, what were you saying it was?
There is an implied meaning there from what I've read from some of the exegesis and interpretation of it, that a witch, as you would think of a witch, but also a poisoner, someone who is doing harm in multiple ways. Obviously in the
Wait,
context
are you confusing this with pharmakia?
I don't think so.
Because in the
I don't
Greek,
think so.
it's pharmakia, which is sorcery, which does this. This is the word. It would also be translated sorcerer, but in the Hebrew, it is practicing.
It could be. I may be conflating the two verses.
Yeah. In the Greek, the word they use for this is pharmakia, which does mean drug.
That's what I thought.
Basically drugs. You confusing Greek and Hebrew again.
All right,
right.
so starting back at
19.
verse 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Verse 19, whosoever lieth with the beast shall surely be put to death.
That doesn't mean sleeping with your cat. It means
Nope.
something
Nope. Taking
far
a
more.
nap with your puppy.
Yeah.
No, that's not what's implied.
No.
He that sacrificeth unto any god save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
That's right. You were Hebrews, foreigners.
You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless.
Mm.
It's pretty direct.
Mm-hmm.
If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury.
Man, I was just talking to Elliot about this yesterday. Freaking banks are such a scam.
Yes,
So
we've
bank,
gone.
You give a bank $1,000. They give you 3% a year APR. They take that $1,000. They have what's called a partial. Oh, what is it called? Where they lend against what they have in the bank. So
Right.
because fractional reserve lending, right?
Mhm.
Because they have $1,000 in their bank on their ledger, they can now lend $10,000 because they only need 10% of whatever they're lending in on their books. So you give them $1,000, they give you 3%. They can lend someone else now $10,000 and charge them. I mean, if you're talking about credit cards, you're talking about upwards of 30% on the 3% of the original that they're lending, they're borrowing from you.
Well,
And
Mike,
it's crazy.
our entire United States currency, right? Because the government, we don't use Treasury notes. We don't use American government notes. We use Federal Reserve notes. And the Federal Reserve is a series of privately held banks.
Yeah.
They are not a government institution. These are privately held banks with privately held shareholders that when $1 is created, at least, if not more, $1.05 worth of debt is created at that very moment. Our entire monetary system is predicated upon usury. So
well, it's the crazy thing is like what I just said about the fractional reserve lending, that $900 that they're lending you doesn't exist.
Mm-mm.
They create it.
They summon it out of the aether. So we should go back to verse 18. We should go back to verse 18. So we've read 25. We understand how the American economic system works. And if they're summoning money into existence through some form of witchcraft, well, then God says, do not suffer a witch to live.
Tina says, "Yep, the gold's been gone a long time. Try it again, Mike." I know. Since, yeah, my son's mother-in-law, she came in here and we were talking about Bitcoin one time, and she's like talking about money, and I'm like, money isn't based on anything. She's like, it's based on gold, and I'm like, lady, it hasn't been based on gold since the year I was born.
Yeah, it hasn't even been based on silver since the year you were born.
All right. Where were
if thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. So, if your neighbor wants to borrow your plow and he gives you his cloak as a surety, you are required to give him back his surety before the day's end.
Hmm.
For that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall I sleep? And it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I hear, for I am gracious.
Can you imagine how bad people smell? They had like one cloak. I mean,
Yeah.
most people back then, they didn't have Walmart or Macy's. They had like one cloak and like one set of clothes.
Yeah.
And
But if you look, there's a lot of stuff about ritual purity and a lot of stuff about washing and so forth.
Yeah.
So
they didn't smell as bad as the Egyptians.
Egypt to this day is a pop-up book of bad smells. Yeah.
Let's
From
not,
my own personal
let's not talk about
experience.
India.
Yeah. Oof. Nope. No, thank you. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of and there's other verses that talk about, you know, a ruler is not a terror to good works and all rulers are appointed by God. So sometimes the way we talk about our political leaders is actually in opposition to God.
No, thou shalt not revile the gods. This is Elohim. Yeah. So,
Elohim. Yeah.
which is Elohim is used for God. It is used for rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, God, goddess, godlike. Yeah, I know Larry has this thing that he believes that, and I'm not sure where he gets it, but that the dominions of the earth were given over to be ruled over by different angels or angelic hosts or demons, depending on, like, I don't know if you've heard it, but he's got this very freaky personal experience with a demon when he was living in, I think it was Thailand or something, because the powers of the one true God, the Christianity doesn't reign supreme over there. So the dominions that have power over there are still very prevalent. So it's possible, if there's any validity to what Larry thinks is true, and he's a very well read person, so I don't know. Sometimes we have these conversations and I just kind of like let him wander. But you know, in that case, you know, because the Bible, this isn't the only place that the Bible says there are gods, right? But they're not talking about Yahweh, Creator, Lord, God.
Right. Well, the problem is when this is translated into English, you can lose a little something. You can lose. I mean, because you got to think it all. We say the name of the Christos is Jesus. There is no Jews. There is no J sound in Hebrew. There is neither a J sound in Greek.
Yeah.
It would have been something closer to a Y or an I sound.
It was Yeshua.
Yeah.
Which is the same word for Joshua.
And Christos, or Christ, where we get the Christ, we actually lose something there unless you're educated, because it comes from a Greek word, a transliteration of a Greek word, and it doesn't come from the crucifixion, but the Christos is an anointing. And who was anointing in the Bible? Pretty much only three categories of people were anointed: priests, prophets, and kings. And so the Christ is the anointed one. Anointed what? The king.
Priest, prophet, and king. But so that's just the closest Greek word to Mashiach.
I think it'll work.
Sort of.
Well, Messiah
But
and
it's
Christ,
it's focusing on the anointing. Yeah.
right? But the Christ
Yeah.
is the Messiah, is
Yeah.
the Christ,
Yeah.
the Messiah. Yeah.
Let's see. Where did we? Okay, but the phrase I was actually focusing on there was "nor curse the ruler of thy people."
Like, let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But he said it himself. That's right. Let's go, Brandon.
So the religion and the vernacular and the liturgical form of the American religion is often at odds with what is expressed in the Christian faith, and sometimes we allow our Americanism to take precedence over our obligations to God.
It's tribalism. Everybody's tribal.
29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits, and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons, thou shalt give unto me.
Of thy liquors?
Mm-hmm.
How have I never noticed this before?
But there's a drink offering. You've read about
I
the
know
drink
about the
offering.
drink offering. I didn't
The lun-
realize the drink was liquor.
Well, it wasn't distilled. It would have been a wine or a. Because
Well,
they didn't
mean,
have
that's
they didn't have
pour one out for
distillation.
the Lord. Pour one
Yep.
out for the Lord.
Yep. Pour one out for the Lord. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it to me.
What is his dam? Is that a word for
His dam?
mother?
Yeah, that's the.
Mother.
Let's see. Here we go. I'll pull it up for you.
His mother.
Yes.
What's he yapping about, man?
I can look it up right here. 30. 30. It's right here. Boop. M. Mother. There you go.
Yeah.
Damn.
And ye shall be holy men unto me. Neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of the beast in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs. So,
Yes.
if a pack of coyotes tore apart, a sheep or something, even if the carcass is still there, you don't cook it. You give it to the dogs.
Yeah. Probably a good idea because you never know what diseases are running around in the mouths of wild animals.
Yes. Tina
Well.
says, let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brad. That was so funny when he was in the interview and he said it.
What's it at?
You saw that, right? And Jill
Yeah.
was right next to him going like,
Yeah.
the dogs who didn't save the sheep. Yeah, give it to the dogs who didn't protect the sheep. Well, wow, we finished that 12 minutes early, Edwin. What are we
We
gonna do
did.
now?
That's a good question. So what else are you working on?
Besides my YouTube channel, I'm really not spending a lot of time doing stuff other than my YouTube channel right now. I want to I'm doing stuff for Squid Grow, like I'm doing regular memes and stuff for them. And then other than that, yeah, it's that. And then
How's the YouTube channel going? And by YouTube channel, you don't mean cross-examinations?
I
You
do
mean
not. I mean, go to my channel. Go to my back room here.
Oh, look, go. I'm on the roll.
So I'm up to 13,287 subscribers.
wow.
Not too shabby.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Considering,
You
I
have-
mean, look at the analytics here. And we go to subscribers. The revenue's not much, but look at the subscriber count. This was this big spike Obviously I haven't done much this week.
Sure.
But yeah, this big spike getting how many? Why doesn't it show like how many I got that day? That's weird. Usually it'll say how much you got each day. But look, that's almost oh, there we go. 256 December 21st. That was from that intergalactic game. I did 2 different intergalactic character redesigns, and then I've been doing the Marvel Rivals stuff, and the Rival stuff does okay, but that intergalactic just rocketed. So yeah, I was screaming up for a while. And then here's Christmas, day after Christmas. So hopefully, we'll get a good showing today. But I just recorded a Hulk video, and I'm gonna be I'm editing right now. I interrupted my editing for cross-examinations.
Well, that's good. Well, I noticed when I looked at one of your videos, it looks like you're getting a lot of comments and a lot of interaction.
Yes. So the comments, if I blow it up. So here's the first intergalactic video. 720 comments. Now, granted, probably somewhere just under half of those comments are mine, because I try to answer every single comment, because the engagement builds subscriber count. And so trying to do everything I can to build up the subscriber count, so that I can get up to a place where, you only get a small percentage when you're doing videos like this. You get a small percentage of those people who will also watch live streams,
right?
And live stream interaction. Therefore, you have to get to a significant place in subscribers before you can really benefit through the live streaming application. But other than that, if I keep building the channel up enough, it could be another source of income. I'm not really sure. That's not really my thing. I just want to be able to use YouTube
productively
as a platform from which in the future, when I have my intellectual property stuff all kind of lined up. And that's kind of the topic. Like, I don't I don't always talk about the topic I'm drawing. Sometimes I go off on little soapbox rants and whatnot. And when I did the Hulk one, I was like, I barely even talked about the Hulk drawing. I was really talking about what I'm doing, and then I started talking about the culture and how people just freaking just hate each other now. It's ridiculous. It's not like anything we've ever seen before, where people will actually stop talking to their family because we've always had that a little bit in culture. It's like, I don't want to go talk to Uncle Frank. He's a Democrat or he's a Republican or whatever. Yeah. But it's become so vitriolic that I've got family that because they've been indoctrinated, they don't even want to freaking talk to me just because I'm a Trump, and I haven't changed any since before Trump came along, but it's ridiculous.
Well, these are learned patterns, and it's amazing to me that people form these.
I'm trying to be nice, ladies. Okay, sheesh.
People form these attachments, and it can be to celebrities, it can be to politicians, but they make someone more important than they are, because particularly with politicians, unless you're in a specific subset of people, these politicians don't even know you exist, right? Unless you're a big dollar donor, that they couldn't pick you out of a lineup of one. And to break the bonds of attachment with your family over these things, absolutely, it's a bad learned pattern. And these patterns do not serve the people. They serve pundits, they serve the politicians themselves, they serve people with specific interest. They can further those interests, by leveraging these divisions, but they do not serve the average person at all.
Yeah, that sort of begets a difficult path to chart in terms of YouTube, because while I do appreciate the outrage merchants, I'll call them, because you do need to have a place where, I mean, a lot of people they'll come home from a movie or they'll watch a show and they'll be like, is it me? Have I gone crazy, or has media just turned into cultural Marxist propaganda? And then they go online and they find these people who are explaining or espousing that same worldview, and the combination of that understanding and trying to drive videos for clicks,
Yeah.
it begets what I just call outrage culture. While I agree with the basic premise, I don't want to find myself in a place where I am just trying to bait outrage, because I want to be building something and I want to encourage and uplift, but at the same time, I'm pretty freaking outraged by some of this. Right?
Well,
So it's like threading the needle here on what I want to do and be organic and true. And I'll do clickbait titles and whatnot, just to get people to watch the videos. That's kind of the rules of YouTube. But I don't want to
yes.
do clickbait outrage content. It's not me.
Well, there's a reason I don't make YouTube anymore, because if you're trying to grow your presence on YouTube, it is a hamster wheel, and you either keep running, meaning you must make content at regular intervals, and that content must fall within kind of certain ranges depending on what the topic is, how it's
Your
presented.
algorithm, right? You can't do 12 different topics in a week, because YouTube will have no idea what to do with your channel and they just won't recommend you to anybody.
Yeah, so you have to have a narrow range, you have to stay focused, and you have to keep making stuff if your goal is to sustain or grow a channel.
That's
and
right.
So for a point at the level I wanted to do stuff, I didn't like coloring in between the lines. I didn't like the feeling of being tethered to it. Like a couple times a week I would have to stop what I was doing, and even if I enjoyed doing that thing, it started feeling like
You had to.
And I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you.
But I would say that
I'm lucky in the sense that I can talk about whatever the hell I want, because I'm doing a drawing. People are coming for the drawing, and it's sort of that's the consistency.
Yeah.
It's like one day I'm complaining about cultural Marxism, one day I'm talking about what tools I use, one day I'm talking about family values. It's whatever I can.
Okay, Tina raises a good point, and then I had another point. Tina in the chat says, Edwin, it seems to me it'd be way too much work building a YouTube channel, even with a niche or a niche. Too many people with too many channels now. So there is a saturation in YouTube, and you probably have to work substantially harder now to build a following than you did 6 or 8 years ago doing YouTube.
Well, there's tricks to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously the more competition, the more difficult it is going to be. But if you can make entertaining content and you do follow the algorithmic rules, then over time you will see growth. But that's the thing, it's a grind. I mean, even John Delarose, he's just stuck to the grind, right? And he's in a space that is very oversaturated. And he just broke 50,000 subscribers because he's been consistent with the grind. And,
yes. Yeah.
You know?
And he's got multiple platforms kind of feeding in the same direction. The other thing I would say, Mike, is that I think, I'm just talking about like this performative criticism of pop culture. I think it's arguably its own genre of entertainment now.
Yeah.
That has a form and a pattern, and people enjoy that.
Yep.
It's not my thing, but I really don't have any emotional reaction to people making it. It probably has some utility, some purpose, but a lot
Well,
of it,
I expounded on what I thought its purpose and what its value was.
yeah,
It's when people fall out of the tree, they're there to catch them. And it's
yeah,
like, okay, welcome to the culture war. Now that you've woken up to the fact that whoever they are, the people who control the cultural Marxists who have subsumed all of entertainment, media, education, and thank God, no, they're losing their hand on the government, but they are the ones who have been driving us into this freaking utopian, not utopian, dystopian.
dystopian. Yeah, well,
What they think is utopia to the real world is dystopia, right? But that's what
dystopia.
they're driving us towards. And so wakey, eggs and bakey, it's time to, when these people wake up, it's good to have the nerdrotics and the geeks and gamers and the
Yeah,
Eric July's out there to catch them when they fall out of the tree. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. There's a movement of people out here who understand, who have already realized this, and now they're it's like the veil gets torn off, right?
yeah.
And then you start becoming hypercritical about it. But I'm trying not to be super hypercritical. People can have whatever opinions they want on. It's like, oh, I'm not going to watch any of blank movies anymore ever because they're blank. I'm just like, I just want blank to do good quality stuff that isn't trying to tear down our society. And I'll
I think
support that.
I think that the challenge all these guys have that are doing this performative criticism is most of them are doing 3 or 4 shows a week. So, they're having to find content. Yeah, and sometimes when you're generating this content, um, people are generally not interested in anything like nuance. They're kind of tuning in to see something that's akin to like professional wrestling. Kind of rock'em sock'em
Yeah,
performative stuff. Yeah,
it's drama. Look, they're tuning in for the culture, the cultural side of the opposite of MSNBC.
yeah. Now, if I was going to watch something like that, I'd probably watch Nerdrotic simply because he's better organized than a lot of other people in the space.
You mean Friday Night Tights specifically?
Yeah,
Or
Friday Night Tights. Yeah, he's better
no, it's a very
organized.
organized show. It's very well produced. I was on
And,
there one time years ago, and it was like, "Here's your homework for the show." It's like, what?
and they
I
they
have to do
tend to
homework?
talk about large accessible topics.
Yeah.
So a video game or something in the news or a piece of mass entertainment, rather than niche topics that, are just not accessible. Now, the,
Right.
the other corollary to
How
that is,
that's the clickbait, right?
yeah,
That's when you're trying to grow a channel. You want to talk about something that the most people care about. So
yeah, yeah.
niche topics are not great for channel growth.
No, they're not. But what can happen is a related form of entertainment, but not exactly the same thing. Some of these personal conflict drama streams, and they can devolve into these feuds that just aren't relevant to people.
Yeah. So you
I
might get super chats, but you're not going to grow your channel.
right,
That's
yeah,
exactly why Nerdrotic is like the smart. He kind of led the charge on, um, if it's causing interpersonal conflict, you're out.
yeah. You're out if you can't
You're
make
out.
it work.
I'm not even going to mention you again. You're going to disappear. I don't care if you've been on my channel 1,000 times.
Yep.
If this is a level of interpersonal conflict that you cannot solve or quelch or whatever before it gets out there in the public, you're gone and you'll never be mentioned on my channel again.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
keep it clean. He keeps it completely clean.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the way to do it. All right. Well, we are way over time, Edwin. See what
We
you
are.
did? I blame. I have a video to edit where I complain about people.
I've probably got some silly AI images to make so I
all
can
right.
mock people.
Well, have a great weekend, everybody. God bless us, everyone. Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, Christmas Eve, post Christmas, the 8 days of Christmas. Don't forget the 8th day.
Stop. I will book the plane ticket, Mike. Not even. It's not a threat.
Happy birthday to me. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time on Cross.
Cross examinations.
Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!